Rebecca and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you me colouring in this lovely stamped image of some dandelions. It's a Crafter's Companion Gemini stamp. I think it was just called Fresh Florals if you want to search for it. I'm sure it's something that you can still get. So I'm just going to be using the Tri Blend markers today. So only using 3 different colours. We're using the Alpine Green blend, Citrus blend and the Gold Yellow blend. So enough of me talking and let me show you how I did it. Right, so to colour our little dandelions in, I've got some paper underneath my card. This is just to catch any of the alcohol ink that we're going to be using coming through from the other side. This is some white stamping card that I've got from Crafter's Companion. This is perfect for stamping and using alcohol markers because it allows the ink to come through the pores of the paper, and you'll see, I'll show you the back of it afterwards. It allows the colour to come through. That's the type of card that you need to use for your stamping and colouring in. So that's why we have that on the back of it. It's just as a blotting mat to stop it from going everywhere. So I'm going to be using the Tri Blends. I've got the Citrus blend, which is CT1, 2 and 3. And this is the Gold Yellow blend, and I've got GY 2, 3 and 5. So I'm going to start out with the palest colour, which will be the CT1. I always like to test it off on the paper at the side just to make sure that I've got the right colour that I'm wanting. And then I'm just going to start at the base of the flower, and I'm just going to cover the whole area in the palest shade. This just gives it a good base for you to be colouring in when you're going to be blending the colours down. It's got a base for it to already work off. That's the base all covered in. So when we're doing shading, you can decide on whether if you want to colour it in as though there's light coming from it at a certain angle, or whether if the light's just coming at it from the front or behind, depending on what you want to do. I'm just going to do it so the light's hitting it head on, so it's going to be darker probably around the edges and the base of the flower, and then it's going to be lighter in the centre. So I'm going to go with the dark end of the same Citrus blend pen that I've done. So I'm just going to put a little bit at the base. You can always add more colour to it. It's harder to take it away. You can take some colour away if you've got one of the blender pens, which is just basically pure alcohol and it can take it out, but it's just easier just to add little bits at a time. And you can always add to it, and then I'm going to do a little bit around the tips. Try and turn your work around while you're colouring. If you've got one of the turntable things that you've got, I've got to get it out today for me to do this on. But it's basically just a lazy Susan, but it's bigger for you to do your drawing on, or your colouring, should I say. Not drawing, if that's what you're wanting to do. So right, I've got the dark yellow at the base, and then I've got it all at the tips. So then I'm going to go to the mid colour. I'm just going to pull down some of that colour to the centre of the flower. So I'm going over where I've just done, and then dragging it towards the centre. This is creating shading and shape to the flower. And then same from the centre. So then you've got like this sort of rainbow arch that's still in the palest, and then just go over where the colours meet again, and it will even out the ink and give it that depth, so it looks more like a 3D flower. Now I want it to be a little bit darker at the base and on the ends of it, so that's, I'm just bringing in the gold yellow blend. So I'm going to start off with the lightest one of that, and that's probably about as dark as I want to go, but we'll see anyway. So I'm just going to do a little bit more of the dark colour at the base. Darker end of the citrus blend one now, so you can pull that one down a little bit more. And it's going to pale this colour again, so CT1. Close the edges again. For some dandelions you can get them when they're quite orange, and then there's some that you can get that are really yellow. So let's see what the mid-tone of the gold yellow blend is going to be like. Right, so that's a fair bit darker. So I think I'll just keep this one to the base. Let's put a little bit there between. You can just do flat colouring, but I like to put a little bit of dimension into the images that I use. And, yeah. It's just to make the petals look more natural. If they've got shape to them, it just looks like that you've put a real flower on. Just a little touch of colour. Okay. Again, and just go over, and that just fully blends them in. You don't get any lines in your work, and it keeps that dimension that you've got that light hitting the middle of the flower. So I'm going to colour the rest in. I'll put it on high speed because you don't want to hear me waffling on while I'm doing it. So I'll talk to you in a moment. that's all the flower heads done, so now we're just going to go on to the stems and the leaves. I've got the Alpine Green blend, which is AG 1, 3 and 5. I've got it in the brush nib and the regular one. I'm going to start with the Lego one. The regular one to start with, just so I can put down the base colour. Probably use the I think the ink's running out on that one, so I'll have to go with this one. The brush nib tends to it's quicker for cleaning because it just covers a bigger area than the bullet nib, but I think with the bullet nib you've got more control over where you're pouring it. If you've not got very steady hands like me, because my hands jitter about all the time, then you can also get the Illustrator pens, which is like a really fine nib for if you're really into your colouring and all your detailed work. Well, I'm just going in with the lightest colour again. It's just the way that I colour. Start with the lightest, apply some of the dark, and then use the mid one to draw it down, and then the lightest one to blend all the three shades together. Tri blends are good for if you're starting out with your colouring and you're not quite sure which shades will go together, but then with the regular pens you've got more variety for you to choose the depth of colour that you have for the project that you're doing. But if you're just wanting to start out, then the Tri blends are probably the best thing. The Crafter's Companion ones are for you to try out. Oh, it's the chisel end. That's the thing with the regular ones, you get a bullet nib and the chisel end, and this is just the blender pen. You'll have seen me using it a little bit while we're doing the heads. So again, I'm just flooding the area with the base colour. It's just so that it has something for it to work on when I'm drawing the other colours down. Okay, right, that's all the base. So I'm going to go with the darkest. I'm going to use the bullet nib on this one because I want to make sure that I get it in the exact right place. So looking at your stamp or what you're doing, you just look for if there's any light shading hints of where it'd be if there were a light hitting it. It's like these, there's just some little darker areas. And then what I like to do is the centre of the leaves, I always like to go over them with the darkest, and then I use the next tone down just to blend it out into the rest of the leaf. It always looks really stark when you first start doing this, but then once you use your lighter colours to blend it in, you get more of a seamless look. I'll just put a bit down the edge of the stem. Sorry, I keep going quietly into a colouring coma. I spent many hours just colouring in pictures. I did a lot of colouring in when I were little. But then it was with wax crayons and pencils, not fancy alcohol markers. So then I've just got the mid-tone. I'm just going to start blending the dark into the centre. Again, same with the centre of the leaves. It'll just draw some of that darkness from the centre and outwards. Again, giving it dimension. go over the whole thing. And then that will blend all the 3 shades together. That starkness of the dark has been taken away because the lighter colours have blended it so it looks more natural. Again, if you feel that you put too much colour on, you can use one of the blender pens just to draw some of it out, or if you've got a lighter shade of the green, so if you have got all the other pens you're not using tri blends, go in with one of the lighter ones and it will draw some of the darkness up, so it'll let you spread it out a bit further. Oh, I'm going to open. Now my dad would be telling me saying you got line finds, and after being putting something in the donations tub because I went over the lines. Somebody winds my kids up when they're colouring. It's all a mess in a course like, but it's a standard thing now that we say you've got a line fine. Right, so I might go in with a little bit more of the middle one. If I go with the brush with that one, just go over that. This is the middle colour, not the darkest one. Just over those leaves. Oh, forgot to do up here. I think that is about it. I think that's a lovely simple flower to go on the front of a card. So got a little bit of green going over onto the flower there. And I think I might go in with just a little bit more dark on these centres. Keep titivating with the things when I'm colouring for a while until I've got it exactly how I want it to. And no, I think that's it. I'll leave it there for that. So I hope I've inspired you to do some colouring. I'll be doing a video using this image on a card. So keep an eye out for that, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.